Hi everyone, welcome to a new unit. Whoop whoop. So for this unit it's going to be 6.2 dividing. And don't forget to add your name and the date. And then for today we're going to focus on dividing using integers and decimals. The one got cut off, so if you want to add that one there so you know. Alright, so first we're going to get some terms out of the way. So we have quotient, divisor, and dividend. Let's say we have a problem 15 divided by 5. So our dividend is what is being divided. So in this case our dividend would be 15. So then our divisor in this problem would be 5, because this is what we are dividing our dividend by, or how we're splitting up that dividend. So then the answer that we get after we compute the problem, that's called a quotient. So in this case 3 would be that quotient. So these terms are important for you to just keep in mind, so maybe draw a little star by them. Alright, so now we're going to work on some steps to solving a problem that has no decimals. So to help me remember the steps, I wrote donuts make school better, because they do. If we weren't in quarantine or a pandemic, we would be eating donuts every day, believe me. So the first step is D, and that step is divide. So let's set up our problem. So we have 60 divided by 5. So first we look at the first digit and we think, how can we divide 6 by 5? How can we divide our dividend by the divisor? Well, 6 divided by 5, you're going to get kind of a decimal, but I know 5 divided by 5 is 1. So that's where we're going to think about multiplying. So in this case, 5 times 1 will give me 5. Then we get to move on. We get to subtract. So that means we're just taking the 6 minus the 5 to get 1. And then our last step, B, better, we're going to bring it down. So what does that mean? That means that we can't divide 1 by 5 anymore. So we're going to look at our next digit and bring it down. So I'm going to draw an arrow, and then I'm going to redraw that digit, and then I'm going to start over. And then I can look at this whole thing. So now I'm looking at 10. Can 10 be divided by 5? Yeah. 5 times 2, that multiplying piece, is 10. So then we're just writing 5 times 2 is 10, and then we're subtracting, and then we're at 0. And when we hit 0, that means we're done. So our answer is 12. So the first step, again, is divide. How many times will the divisor go into that dividend? How many times will the divisor go into the dividend? Our second step is multiply. where we are multiplying the number that we just found and putting it under the dividend. Then our next step is to subtract, where we're subtracting the product from the dividend, and then we bring it down. So we are bringing down the next number or the next digit from the dividend. So let's do some practice. 650 divided by 5. Again, our dividend is 650 and our divisor is 5. So let's go to the first digit. 6 divided by 5. Well, in the previous problem we decided that 5 times 1 can get me 5. And I need to be really careful about where I'm placing my numbers because we want them to align. 6 minus 5 is 1, subtract, and now we have to bring down the next number. 5. 15 divided by 5, can we do that? Yeah. 3 times 5 is 15. So we're writing the 3, writing the 15, subtracting, bringing it down. And now, even though we have a 0, let's bring it down anyways. So, is there a number that we can multiply to go from 5 to 0? Yeah, we can do a 0, because 5 times 0 will get me 0. So we're done. So 650 divided by 5 is 130. Let's do this next example together. So we have 151.8 divided by 3. Don't let this decimal scare you. All we do is we bring the decimal up and then we divide like usual. So pause and see if you can divide. Welcome back. So with this one, since we couldn't divide right away, since 1 divided by 3 is going to give us a decimal, we had to bring this whole thing down and then divide it. And then because we only have 1 divided by 3 again, we had to put a 0 and move to the next space. So I did 1, first I looked at 1 divided by 3, and then I looked at 15 divided by 3. Oops, I made a mistake. If you see the mistake, see what you should change it to. What is 15 divided by 3? Not 3. So this should be 50.6. I always circle my answer so it stands out. I didn't circle this.